Hello and welcome to And Everything in Between. I am Scorn, aka Joe, and I'm joined here by Tony.
Hey, that's me.
And we're here to talk about the gaming industry and everything in between. And this week we've got a very special guest. We're joined by Andy.
Hello.
Hey Andy. So what have you, as you're the guest, we'll ask you, what have you been playing or watching this week?
Well, I recently reinstalled everything on my computer, so I could give you an exact list of what I've been playing. I played a little bit of Rocket League, quite a bit of Subnautica.
You played some Diablo.
Yep, Diablo 3 and Hearthstone.
Oh, did I tell you I died again on Diablo 3? My hardcore character.
What, on your Witch Doctor?
Oh.
Yeah, I actually got killed by bullshit. I got one shot by unknown, and Pontus was like, "Yeah, this is a bug."
Oh god!
You got killed by a bug.
I got killed by like a bug, and Blizzard has a very firm stance on hardcore characters, but we'll never revive a hardcore character if they die.
Right.
So it's just like I was just like, all right, I give up. I'll play next season. She's like,
okay.
I was just trying to get like the golden portrait, because when you do the season achievements, for anyone who doesn't know, because it's quite confusing if someone doesn't understand Diablo, because they're like, alright, you beat Diablo and you stop playing the game, right? And it's like, well, no, you kind of carry on, because ever since Reaper of Souls, there's this really good seasonal stuff now. So every season you can get achievements, and when you do these seasonal achievements, you unlock like a portrait and a pet and this special gear. And then you can go up a tier of achievements, which gives you a better portrait and stuff. Like there's a normal one, there's a gold one and stuff. I was trying to get the gold one, which was to level 3 legendary gems to 35. So I had 2 gems on 35, and then I was really close to the third one, and I just got killed by a fucking. My screen just went black because it takes a screenshot when you die. And the screen just went black, and I was dead, and I was like, right, fuck this game. I'm coming back next season, gonna play Crusader.
Yeah, it's got about 2 weeks left or so now, so it's not the worst thing. Sort of worst timing in the world.
Pontus said he was just gonna boost me through the final achievements, because I had to get 3 gems to 35, and I needed to master a set dungeon, and I could get my golden portrait. So I was just like, I really can't bother to play this game, Pontus. But if you want to play the game while I stand AFK at the beginning of the instance, then yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't care anymore. I've died twice this season on hardcore. It fucking sucks.
I initially, because obviously this is my first season actually playing Diablo. So initially I played a monk, and that didn't turn out so well because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So I stood in the middle of a bunch of enemies and died. So then created a wizard, tried again. And yeah, he probably died as well. So then I got onto my second wizard because I really enjoyed playing wizard. I like that second time around. And then yeah, his character's still alive at the minute, but I'm not quite as geared as you. So I've not got any ancient things. I'm missing my weapon for my set, so I'm missing quite a lot of damage.
I'm not geared at all. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Well, this is just what? Fucking. Albin, Pontus, and Martin all play the face roll Demon Hunter. Well, I'm trying to I feel like Demon Hunter's the most OP bullshit on Diablo, where you just face roll vault around killing everything, and I'm just trying to desperately stay alive with my 10,000 not 10 million toughness in it, like a Greater Rift 45, which is insane. That's if you don't know the difficulty of Diablo, it goes. There's normal, which is really easy. There's hard, which is okay, and then you go up to expert and master, and then you have torment, and it goes all the way up to torment 10, where stuff can just teleport and one shot you, and then they have this thing called Nephilim Rifts, where you go into and you can get gear from them, but they have Greater Rift, which scale, and I think 30 or 35. I think 40 is torment 10. So, and then you can go higher than that, so you can actually go higher than the game's maximum difficulty, and it gets ridiculously hard.
Yeah,
stuff can just one-shot you in that, and yeah, it's not fun. Because you need a lot of toughness, because, yeah, I have a lot...
You like grinding though, don't you? We've established this in previous episodes. You just really love that grind.
I do love. There's like, it's not like, oh, I've got my gear, the game's done. There's so much to grind. Like, there's this thing called the cube, which you can put legendaries into, and you gain their powers. You can grind necklaces, rings. You can grind the legendary gems. There's these legendary gems that infinitely level up, and you can only put them in your rings and your amulets. So you want to do Greater Nephilim Rifts to level up your legendary gems. I know they're actually changing some of the more less used legendary gems on the PTR. They're changing the pet one. They're changing the smite one. They're changing the attack speed one.
But it's all changing quite a lot. But for me, it's like I really like going for collections of things. So I've set myself this build that I'm just sort of trying to complete. And even when you complete it, at the end of the day, you can always get better stat rolls. It's so difficult to roll perfect stats. So that's sort of why, like, me and Joe really enjoy playing it together, because we've always got something to try and get. So
yeah, really I just love re-rolling a piece of armor literally 100 times and not getting the stat increase. I love it.
It's hilarious because the more times you re-roll it, the more it costs to re-roll it again. So it's costing Joe like a stupid amount to re-roll the same piece of gear.
Like, you can disenchant legendaries, and when you disenchant legendaries, you get what's called a Forgotten Soul. I spent like 100 Forgotten Souls just trying to re-roll this piece of fucking armor, this set piece for my Witch Doctor pet build. I think Witch Doctor is actually one of the harder classes to play because they're really squishy, and yeah, I don't think they're that strong. But don't want to play face roll. Demon Hunter GG.
Can I just go away from Diablo for a second, or I don't know? But Andy, can you explain to me why your PC died? How did you fuck it up?
Okay, so I'd got 2 hard drives, a 3 terabyte and a 1 terabyte. Windows was installed on the 1 terabyte, and it is so slow. I thought it was broken. It was taking about 20 minutes to start up. It wasn't broken. It's still not broken, and it's still in my computer. But I think it's almost dead. So I backed everything up that I needed. Got myself a solid state drive. Put it in my computer, and broke the connector on it. Because
well, I heard more things got broken on the install of your new computer.
Well, yeah. I completely knackered the solid state drive, the first one. Because it doesn't fit in the bottom of my case. Because the connector's at a right angle, it just snapped off. So when you sort of pushed it in with the wire attached, and then I got a second one.
You fucked up.
Yeah, it's quite expensive. Yeah, quite an expensive mistake to say the least. So I bought a second one, of course. It's the only logical thing to do. And well, the second one's a Samsung one, so it's actually really, really easy to install.
Is it the Evo one?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Evo 850.
That's the one I've got on mine. I've got the 120 gigabyte one for the boot, and then a 500 gigabyte SSD for games and stuff. Which, like, if you have a PC and you want to speed it up, like your boot and your games, the best thing you can do is get a solid state drive. It's really like a speed increase. Especially if you're getting like a PCI.
But I think Joe was going to go on to say that solid state drives are incredibly fast compared to a standard hard drive.
Yeah. Put your if you just want like a hard drive for games and then like an SSD for just your operating system, I think what you're trying to say, if you can't afford like a massive SSD.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've got now. So I've got a 240 gigabyte. Yeah, so I got 240 boot drive. I've still got 150 gigabytes left on that, so I could put a few games on that if I want. And then I've still got my 3 terabyte drive with all my games on it. Could. So
it doesn't have the same limitations as like a hard drive, where you don't want to remove like the last 50 gigabytes because then it just runs even slower.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm just going to use my 1 terabyte drive as a backup for now. So yeah. Hey Joe. I guess we're pausing the podcast temporarily.
Oh, Looks like a Discord decided to pull an epic prank on me and kick me out of the servers. Are you guys here?
Yep.
Yeah, we're still going. We're still going.
Okay, good.
I don't know if you want to go straight on to the proper topic, or you want to know what I've been doing.
Yeah, well, I haven't even said what I've been doing, Toby. So.
Well, you want me to go? All right,
I'll pass the cuddly toy to you, Toby. Here you go. You can now talk.
Talking stick.
Yeah, I'm addicted to space engineers. Apparently, I love
those highlighted doors update.
Yeah, that update. Ooh. No, I'm actually having issues with it, but I'm still playing it for some reason. I've got like quarter of the FPS I should have, and I'm still playing it for some reason.
I feel like you're addicted to it, where you launch the game and you don't really know why you're doing it, but you are.
Yeah. Well, I have like an idea, like I have like a grand vision. I feel like Peter Molyneux actually. I have this vision, and I want to change space engineers.
Peter Molyneux with your visions.
Yeah. Oh, I just realised that's gonna be more editing from my point. Every time I hear Peter Molyneux, I have to like put a cut in the edit and then add
Peter Molyneux with a cowboy hat.
Yeah, Peter.
Peter. You should just put the pet. I don't even know what Pete stands for actually, off the top of my head. You know, the Peter. Animal people. Yeah, the American.
No, I couldn't tell you what it stands for.
We have the RSPCA, so
yeah.
I don't really know what it stands for. But I'm getting very off topic. I'm trying to derail you.
Yeah, so Joe, what have you been doing this week then?
Well, apart from dying on Diablo with my shitty RNG,
never lucky.
I've been playing Subnautica as well. We were talking about it with Dan last week, and
yeah,
it made me want to buy the game. I got Andy to buy the game just before a sale, so we made sure to pay full price for the game because it was that good.
It's just me that hasn't bought it at this point, is it? Like everyone else has been playing it, and it's just me.
Yeah, I've been trying to convince you to get it because I think it's really fun. I mean, you see a lot of these early access sandbox games, but there's something about underwater, and it's really well made. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. But
put an interesting twist on it, haven't they? Like they haven't made it like a boring, normal par for par.
Oh no. I really like the fact that I suppose you can sort of compare it to Minecraft, but not really. You can sort of build your own base really easily, and that's something I think you'll really enjoy, Toby, and sort of because there is a creative mode to it, so you can just sort of build a nice base and like mess around with that and the functions in the game at the minute. But they're also trying to sort of create a bit of a storyline into it.
Yeah. The Steam page does not sell it though. Like I don't know if you've seen the Steam page.
What about the Steam page?
For Subnautica, I don't think have you seen the actual Steam page? Because like when I originally saw it, like it really didn't interest me. It's only when people like talk to me about it and like the SIP stuff that I really like. I just don't think that the actual SIP page doesn't show anything useful.
I'm always interested in stuff that's underwater because underwater's like is a really atmospheric like sort of scary thing because it's not just what's above me, what's around me. It's like what's below me as well. Like you can be shit can come after you at any angle. Like just having like a shark coming at your feet. And I think the main thing that they did really well is they didn't go, okay, you're gonna build like a electronic machine that does this. Like you're gonna have to build in each individual part. They made it futuristic. So what the story is that you have escaped from, I think it's Earth, it could be a planet, but it's in the future, and you've escaped from a big ship, and you're in an escape pod, and you've landed on this planet that's about 90% water. Like, there is some land with like some like crab creatures on it, but it's like almost all water, so you really need to survive underwater.
But the best thing to do with it is
like farms,
just go into it completely blind.
They've updated the escape pod to give you a working medical kit, and you can repair your escape pod. But the thing about the escape pod is, it is an escape pod. It's underwater. It can move. Like, I kept building my house. I didn't listen to the fable. I built my house on the sandy land. I built it near the shore, and my house kept disappearing. So every time I went to use the fabricate to start building a base that the my little escape pod would move, like the current was pushing it. So every time I started laying down the foundation to build my own little base underwater, my house was moving. So that was quite annoying, but yeah, that is one of the things you have to.
Don't use your escape pod as foundations. Is that the moral of the story?
Yeah, the way they've done the game, the crafting and everything is really well done. Like even it's in early access at the moment. They're in like a development build. The single player experience and story, like the story is actually really good. Like it's pretty good. They've added a lot of. There's like a radio transmission thing inside your ship that you can repair, and you can, look at the communications and get more story stuff. And the giant ship that you came down on, you can explore that thing if you get.
Wait, did that thing crash?
Yeah.
Yeah, it crashed. But it's like filled with radiation, so you have to eventually build like a radiation suit so you can get over there. And there is also, among all the alien fish and stuff that you can eat and attacks you, there's a giant fucking fish ever present in the ocean that you need to be very careful of. There's like a giant boss fish that's always lurking, so you have to build your house and your plants and your aquariums, but you also got to build some big fucking guns to survive. It's not a peaceful planet. There is a lot of hostile creatures for you to go out and survive against. But yeah. Oh, one thing I really want to talk about this game, because we've had 2 weeks since we do these every 2 weeks since the last podcast. But
it might not seem like it from my terrible uploading.
Yeah, last week I was playing Subnautica and Diablo. Before that, I played Ori and the Blind Forest. This game is really good. It's like a Metroidvania platformer, and it was I think it's one of the unsung heroes of 2015. Because recently, this is the start of 2016. You start picking up these titles from 2015 that have gone on sale and have become a bit cheaper. So I've picked up the Witcher and its DLC, and I've picked up Ori and the Blind Forest and stuff. And yeah, when we had the episode we were talking about our favourite games of 2015, I definitely would have put Ori on there if I had played it when we were doing it, because it is really good.
Well, I think by
the whole thing in a couple of sittings.
Yeah, I think by the rules of like the convention, I think you can just choose whatever game you happen to play that year. So I think you can still put on your 2016 list.
I think it's a really solid platformer, and one of the best elements is like the tech tree system, the leveling up, where it kind of has RPG elements where you can kindle a fire and learn new abilities. Like at the beginning when you jump, it feels like I jumped so small. Like it feels really frustrating at the beginning of the game, but that's because you can upgrade to have like a double jump, and if you go all the way up the I think it's called the utility tree or something, you can get like a triple jump, and it's like, oh, okay, I see why I was only allowed to jump so little. Otherwise, I'd be able to get to a lot of places. And it's not like built on a level system, like something, let's just say like Rayman, where you go on a level, then you move across. It's one giant continuous map, and the map changes based on like bosses and events you do.
Okay.
Can I just say, one of the best bosses in the world? You're fighting a giant fucking owl.
That's quite interesting.
A giant owl is chasing after you, destroying the forest while you're trying to run away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The main antagonist is an owl.
Can I just ask 2 words about this game though? Water temple?
Use your words.
What's the deal with the water temple?
To be honest, the water temple wasn't that bad.
What?
There's different temples throughout the lava temple's the real fuck you temple.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, Michael had only played the water temple, and he's like, "Oh, the water temple's really hard." I was like, "Michael, you haven't even experienced the lava temple." Our friend Michael, who's also played the game, you haven't experienced the lava temple. The floor is literally lava, Michael. So he was getting a bit annoyed at the water temple, because there's 3 temples you have to complete to basically save the forest and get back. That's kind of the story. You you're Ori and you're trying to save the forest from this destruction and this giant owl that's made of darkness.
Okay.
So yeah, that's definitely one of my favourite games I've played recently. Really good, really recommend it. Solid Metroidvania style platformer, and that's why I wanted to make sure I mentioned that before we moved on. But
Before our first
now the next topic we're going to talk about is, well, yeah, our first topic is going to be the Hearthstone format change, the wild and the standard mode, the 18 deck slots, and patch 420. I know you're a huge Hearthstone fan, Tony, so do you want to take us away? Little joke there. Tony doesn't play Hearthstone, so that's why I brought Andy on the show, so we can talk about Hearthstone.
So what do you want to talk about first? Should we talk about the deck slots and how it's overwhelming all the new players?
Well, the thing is, the technology just wasn't there, and they literally added a button that just makes the screen. There was literally the UI change was a giant arrow that just gets rid of the basic decks. Yeah. I mean, it took them like 2.5 years to finally cave in and give us 9 more deck slots.
I don't know much about coding, but I'm pretty sure I could code in more deck slots.
I'm fairly sure
Blizzard
I could learn to code.
It's Blizzard.
I could learn to code and put it in
it's not
2 years.
It's not something hard.
Ben, it's. I know the game's programmed in Unity, so it would be pretty easy.
Yeah, no, trust me, it'd be pretty. They've got the code for like what originally like 9 slots, now it's 18 or something.
Yeah, it's 18.
But the main reason they didn't put it in is because the main reason they were saying was that 18 deck slots would be too confusing for new players. Yeah.
But ultimately, it just limited how many decks you could have. Because now that I've got 18, I'm not worried. Yeah.
Do you think at Blizzard, like they like their employees drive into a car park that's completely empty and go, "Oh, this is so confusing. I wish there's only 2 spaces to choose."
Well, Blizzard's been notorious throughout the years, throughout every game they make for coming soon TM.
Yeah.
Like the technology just isn't there. We cannot add that button to that screen. It's too advanced for people. They'll get confused. Like that kind of philosophy of but
also no, I don't understand it.
What they've done with the deck slots is they've added a new recipe mode where when you create a deck, you can create a custom deck, but you can also create the basic deck that existed, because the new deck slots you get replace the basic decks, which you can just get rid of.
Right.
But they've also added some synergy decks to try and show new players what kind of decks to make. So they've like, say for example, Rogue, they've got like a spell damage deck where they have like, I think it's Malygos and Thalanos and stuff, where they have like spell damage in it, and they kind of show players what kind of synergies you can make, and then you can go off and make your own decks knowing what works well with other cards. And they've also improved the system where if you don't own a card, what they do is they go, okay, you don't own this card, we'll replace it with another card. Like they go, okay, you don't have this card, but this card will work well as well here, which is pretty nice in theory, and it kind of works to an extent. But some of the times it's like, you don't own a dragon in a dragon deck. What about Ragnaros? And it's like, dragons are kind of important in Dragon Priest.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd recommend Ragnaros as a replacement. It just seems to look at the mana cost and go, you don't have this card? Put Dr. Boom in.
So would you say this update has made it easier for players then?
It's just a good suggestion for every deck though. It's like, you don't own this card? Put Dr. Boom in. Yeah, I think it's a lot better for newer players. I know like someone who doesn't own all the cards can really use this recipe tool to kind of see what the kind of play styles each classes have, and kind of build towards that. Like
right.
Usually you just recommend the newer players to just buy the expansions, and then they can kind of get some of the pre-built cards. But we'll talk about the new format change. So what's happening is they're adding 2 new queues to Hearthstone. They're going to have the standard queue which is going to be all the expansions apart from the last two. So Nax Ramus, the single player experience expansion on all the cards, and Goblins vs Gnomes, the card pack expansion, is going to be removed from. You're not going to be allowed to use any cards from that expansion in standard mode, and this is going to really shift the map, because in Nax Ramus and GVG you've got like Dr. Seven, Dr. Boom, what a huge card, Shredders.
There's so many
Rubian eggs,
key cards in
Death Lords,
Nax Ramus though.
Zombie Chow, my favourite card in the entire game. Zombie Chow, not allowed to use it anymore.
Anti-Keelbot, that's going as well.
Yeah,
that's gonna limit.
The main problem,
healing.
the main problem I have with them removing Nax Ramus is a lot of the anti-aggro cards in Nax Ramus. Like you've got Death Lords, Zombie Chows, you've got Heal Bots in GVG.
You're going to be missing.
Clarify now.
So go on.
Sorry.
You're going to be missing Avenge as well and Dark Cultist. So there's quite a few class cards. There's a few class cards that they're really going to miss. Void Cooler and also Deathspite as well from Nax Ramus. Really good cards, but ultimately those first two expansions were, well, they really did have some power creep to them. But sort of as the expansions have gone on, people haven't sort of gone, oh wow, this is so overpowered. Sort of, you hear everyone talk about Dr. Boom. It's mostly because you can compare it to what's the 7-mana basic card?
War Golem.
That's it, War Golem. It's the same stats, plus it has an extra ability on top of it.
It's just strictly better. It's like Magma Ranger and Ice Ranger are just 3-mana cards, but one just has one more health.
Yeah.
Like it's just a better card. But as the expansions go on, there's a lot less power creeps, and there's more cards. There's more cards that are more situation, aren't just strictly better than older cards, and they're going to be rotating these the expansions out. So when another expansion comes out, they'll rotate out the next expansion, which will be Blackrock Mountain. So we'll lose like
every dragon deck,
which I think Thurison is absolutely broken, and like Freeze Mage, absolutely hate that card. It's like
it's so strong.
Turn 6,
it's insane.
You play it and it's like, oh, I lost the game. They can burst me down from like 15 health, which didn't, like druids and mages should never be able to do like half your health in like one turn.
Especially with Alexstrasza. If Alexstrasza didn't exist, I think it could be okay. But the fact you can just set your opponent's health, regardless of what they've done all game, to 15, just be like, oh, okay, yeah, here's either half of your health gone if you've been playing well, or, oh, okay, I don't actually need this, I'm just going to heal myself for most of 15. It just has so much utility to it, it's just insane.
So with the wild and standard format changes, they are also said they're going to be nerfing some classic cards. So we're expecting some nerfs to Savage or Force of Nature. That's like a really big power point. Druids were really strong before GVG and Nax Ramus, so the combo is definitely going to get nerfed.
Yeah. The fact it's called the combo is just, just shows how powerful it is, really.
Yeah. Sorry, Tony?
So are they like these? You're talking about like the redundant cards. Like this card is like just outright better, and this card it just has more health and it's the same mana cost. Are they going to be like rebalancing those? They're not redundant.
When we say power creeps, but a power creep is a card that it has like the same mana cost. Than a card that it's just strictly better. There's like no disadvantage to using the new card. Yeah, that's a power.
Do you think are they going to change the old card though?
They're getting rid of the power creeps with the standard change, because the GVG and the Nax Ramus are being rotated out of standard. They'll still be available in wild, but they won't be available in standard, which is going to be the new game mode.
So standard allows them to essentially just rotate what cards they're adding to the base set, and basically just allow for them to add a little bit of power creep to some, but they won't continuously need to evolve better and better cards. Because they'll obviously be taking cards out.
So I assume then like you have like the Wild Wild West and then like the more balanced version.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
So in Wild, you're going to get
The
some insane combos, no doubt. Sort of as you get more and more expansions,
Yeah.
obviously you're going to have just no limit on what you can put in your deck. So you look at Arena and you go, okay, which cards are the most value? But in Ranked, you just go, okay, which cards are overpowered? Combo these together. Bam, that's my new deck. So sort of certain cards in Arena compared to sort of Standard or Wild, whatever it will be. Sort of, it's really different how you build your decks in that. But
Wild is going to be the same experience as normal Hearthstone. You're going to be allowed to use whatever cards you want in your decks. It's basically Wild is for people who like Hearthstone as it is now. Andy, are you playing Hearthstone as we do the podcast?
I'm looking through deck. Oh no, I'm looking through cards.
He's researching cards.
Yeah,
He's
I'm doing my research.
researching
But
the cards in the game. He's just testing them.
Yeah, I'm just making sure
Yeah.
that my information is up to date. No, but like, there's
Yeah, you're
like
losing,
combo.
right? 15. You've already
The
lost half your
biggest
health.
one I think I'm going to miss is Lotheb, because it delays the opponent's combo, no matter what.
Well, the anti-Freeze Mage card, where
Yeah.
the entire Freeze Mage deck's getting untouched by the GVG and the next round's being rotated out.
Yeah, because they just don't use
I
those
think-
cards. So
I think Doomsayer is a huge problem. Alex Strauss is a huge problem. That sort of stuff. I think that's definitely going to get nerfed. Though.
I'm not sure whether
For
Doomsayer
sure.
is much of a
Blizzard's
problem,
always
to be honest.
really
but,
hesitant to nerf cards. Like they would
Yeah.
rather just they would rather just make new cards that counter the old cards. Like we seen this with like Kazan Mystic in GVG, where they were like Freeze Mage is really strong. We should add a card that counters Freeze Mage because otherwise it's going to be a huge problem.
That's a general problem. Like I think a lot of card games, instead of like nerfing, obviously like in traditional card games, you can't just nerf the card though, can you? Like you can't just recall all the cards and go, yeah, this is.
Well,
bad.
that's
it's
the thing.
a lot harder to nerf cards in a physical.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, Hearthstone can do that.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, because obviously, like in physical Magic cards sort of thing, you'd have to ban them from tournaments, or as they do, they rotate cards
We see
in and
that all
out.
the time.
But it's sort of quite difficult to decide how to regulate that. Whereas with Hearthstone, it's all digital, so you can just change things as you go. But they're just so hesitant. I don't really understand why. I could understand it'd be confusing for people that leave the game and then come back, but
The
ultimately, if you're going to have a rotating format called Standard, then it doesn't really matter at that point, I wouldn't have thought.
The main problem is a lot of the cards that people want nerfed are like classic basic cards, and if these cards get nerfed, new players are going to be even farther behind the general curve of the Hearthstone player. Like, right, we've put these new cards that counter the really OP cards into the new expansion. It's like, well, new players can't really buy that. They're still trying to unlock basic cards. While you're like, okay, you can just need to buy this card and buy this card. It's like the most powerful card in Hearthstone is your credit card. Like,
Definitely. It's
really hard for new
disappointing that
players
that's
to
a
get into the
thing.
game.
It really is.
Credit card is what, 0 mana, 10/10?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I knew it.
Like the game allows you to progress and unlock these things for yourself. It's like pay to unlock things quicker.
Well, that's what happens when I first started playing. That's why I stopped. It's just that the cards you're given like aren't complete enough to make like good combos and things.
Yeah, the basic core set isn't competitive whatsoever.
No.
That's the main problem.
Yeah.
With
Do you I don't just remember. I never really got far enough in like know how like cards unlock properly. Like, do they unlock in order? Like, how does the unlocking system work?
to unlock the basic cards.
Yeah, so
Yeah, like
essentially there's, well, two sets to begin with. You've got basic set and classic set. Basic set, when you reach level 10 with a class, you will have all of that class's cards available to you from that basic set. It's super easy to unlock. It takes about, well, I don't know, about 20 games with each class? Probably not even that.
yeah, that's fine. That sounds
and then you
reasonable.
have classic, which is all the basic cards. There's an absolute ton of them.
You get the basic cards. Off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bat.
Yeah.
But the classic set you have to buy classic packs for.
Yeah, there's probably about 600 cards in the classic set, all of which you have to unpack.
600 cards.
I would think it's something around that.
I feel like you're lying about that.
Let me see how many pages
seems
there
way
are.
too many.
Let me see. So I've got
Because if you think about the new expansion that's coming out, there's only 130 cards in this next expansion.
Right, so there's almost 150
600.
pages, and there's 8. Well, the majority of them have 8 cards. Yeah, but that's not all the
classic set, is it?
Wait, no, I've clicked on. No, I've gone on the wrong one. Let me do that again. That's all the cards in the game.
Yeah.
Right, so if we look at Classic only, there's 55 pages. So that's going to be about... Well, no, that's still about 400 cards. But ultimately, you have to unpack every single one of those for a full set. And you can craft them with dust, but it's
the basic
really
is
inefficient.
The second largest set with 150 cards. There's nowhere near 600,
Classic, Joe.
Oh, Classic.
Yeah, Classic will be the largest set.
I think the basic set is just the Classic cards there.
Yeah, it's so confusing with naming, but yeah.
Okay, basic is the ones you unlock. There's 150. Okay, Classic is 300 cards.
Okay. So yeah.
So it's about somewhere in the middle. I don't want to give out false
just to clarify. Just to clarify though.
Yeah.
So new expansion's coming out, so you'd have to unpack a pack from that expansion specifically. If I wanted the cards in that expansion.
Yeah. So you'd have to buy packs for that expansion.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I understand.
What you can also do though is you can disenchant extra cards. So when you have cards that you already own, you can disenchant them and use the dust to craft specific cards.
Yeah.
One of the things I really hate about this change though is the fact that they're removing the Naxxramas expansion and the GVG packs from the store. You can't buy them anymore, even if you want to play Wild.
So like
they're
down the line,
making them disenchantable and craftable, but the thing is they're taking away the experience of the Naxxramas single player adventure, which was one of my personal all-time favorite things to do in the game. That expansion was really fun.
Why are they removing it then? Like, I don't. Why are they doing this?
I don't know. They don't want new players to buy the old stuff that they can't use in standard. So they're just completely taking away the adventure and making it so you can craft the cards.
What if you just want to play Wild West though?
If you want to play Wild West, you have to craft the cards. Now.
Okay, right.
Which I think I'm not sure about this. The thing is,
that sounds really awful.
The thing is, though, everyone knows that everyone's going to want to play standard. That's going to be the new game mode. And casual people will still play Wild, but like players and tournaments are going to be in standard. Everyone's going to want to play standard.
Oh, definitely.
I think if they changed the names around and they went, okay, the normal Hearthstone is standard, and then if you want to play with these extra cards, that's the Wild. I think it would be the other way around. Because with the naming system, they've already gone, okay, this is the normal format, this is the standard format, and if you want to play Hearthstone as it is now, you're Wild. That's the Wild.
So are you suggesting like if they called the current one normal and then the new one like balanced or something, then it would be the other way around?
Yeah.
I'm not
entirely
sure about that, but you might be right.
In the original World of Warcraft, there's in Vanilla WoW. Really early on, there was this leveling system where if you played too much, you were punished. You got less XP if you continued playing, because they didn't want people to level up too quickly, and people were really annoyed by this. What they did was they were like writing in the forums, this is awful. I'm getting punished for playing the game. I don't want this. I don't want to get less XP for continuing playing. So what Blizzard did was basically they made it so when you didn't play, you got what's called rested XP, where you got bonus XP for sitting in cities and not playing, and people loved it. They absolutely loved it because you just got a normal rate of XP if you continued playing, and if you sat in a city, you got rested. They just flipped them around. They didn't change anything.
Yeah, people are silly.
They just changed the names. That's why I think calling one standard and one wild is actually going to have a huge psychological effect on everyone.
I feel like
no
that
one's
really
going to want to
wouldn't
play
fool me.
wild.
From an outsider though, I standard sounds really good. Like it seemed like because they're trying to make it more balanced, aren't they? They're trying to make it more not just absolutely wild.
The thing is though, they're going to be
they're going to be the best one.
They're going to be balancing around standard, which means if you want to play wild, you might, get fucked over by secret powers.
Yeah, but it is wild.
Yeah.
Like, I know again, it's some of the naming system, but yeah, it is designed to be like that though. That's design philosophy for wild.
You still want balance around. You still want the idea of wild isn't that anything goes, although it may seem like. I think the idea of wild is you can play any card that you want.
Yeah,
there should still be a certain amount of balance to it.
I'll make it like analogy like to StarCraft 2. Like loads of people like there's like I think something like 60 or 70% of people play like 1v1. Then there's like the second demographic was like 2v2. And people play 2v2 are always like, well, why don't you just balance it around 2v2? It's like, I don't think you can really do that. Like most of the competitive scene is 1v1.
Yeah,
you have to choose one to balance around. You can't choose both. You have to choose one.
I see that. Daddy gave you good advice.
Yeah.
But
memes. Is this memes?
But yeah, I think they in the new expansion of the spoilers that they've revealed for the new one, looks like they are trying to add cards if people want to play wilds that they can still counter decks like this. That there's a new card called Eater of Secrets, where it can destroy all secrets and gains +1/+1 for every secret destroyed. So it looks like they are trying to do their normal. We're going to add cards to counter really strong cards with like this card to specifically counter like. Mysterious Challenger. So they are going to try and balance it, even though Mysterious Challenger probably won't be used in standard because of the removal of some of the secrets and stuff. They are still adding cards in the new expansion that will help out people in wild, which is nice. We still want balance for both, because you don't want because if wild is just like there's only one deck you can play, everyone plays this one deck, then no one's going to want to play it. It's just going to be
that's true.
No one's going to want to play it because you can play both. So the way the rank system works is that you can get to legend on standard or on wild. You can choose which one you want to play, sort of thing. Yeah. Because wild is still competitive. You still earn quests. You still get a rank. You can still be a legend of wild. So I definitely think they should continue balancing a competitive format. It's not Tavern Brawl. It's not like, RNG, anything goes.
No, definitely not.
Well, yeah, but... Sorry.
No, go on, Toby.
No, I was saying, like, but surely, like, as you were saying, though, like, okay, if you like, nerf cards, balance cards, like, in the standard, you can then balance the wild by just adding cards which are banned from the standard, but accepted in the wild, be able to balance the wild better.
Well, yeah, you can balance standard by banning wild cards, but that doesn't balance wild.
No, I'm saying adds extra cards, like, new expansion is like, well, these cards are only for wild, technically, because they won't be in standard. They could make almost, like, redundant cards.
I think Eater of Secrets, if you haven't seen this card, it's a card that eats secrets. I think it's kind of a twofer, because they wanna make it so people in wild can eat the secrets of Mysterious Challenger, but it's going to be allowed in standard, so we're going to see. And one of the big cards that I miss, that I always put into my decks, because the deck I hate the most in the game is definitely Freeze Mage. Kazan Mystic, we're losing it from GVG. This card let you steal a secret from your opponent. So if you could steal like an ice block or an explosive trap or something, you could just instantly win the game.
But yeah, because Freeze Mage would rely on their secret, because they'd rely on their ice block to survive another turn, because it allowed you to be invulnerable on your opponent's turn if they tried to kill you. So
yeah, if you had this Eater of Secret cards, it's a twofer. It counters Mysterious Challenger, but it also can destroy Ice Block and Ice Barrier and those sort of secrets that are really problematic for standard in the future.
But yeah, so you'd essentially get your opponent to 1 health, and then you just couldn't do any more. So you'd sort of just be stuck, but then with the destruction of a secret, you can then deal that 1 extra damage and you win the game. So it's, it's quite tricky. But yeah. Yeah.
I think there's going to be about 4 competitive decks in Standard. Not a lot of people have said about this. Well, it's going to be really hard to judge until we see all of the new expansion cards, because we've only had a couple of spoilers since the Old God expansion's been released. And we need to see what cards are being nerfed, and then we can really judge whether Standard's going to be what decks are going to be powerful, what decks are going to be competitive. But it seems like Blizzard is definitely going to have tournaments and stuff on Standard. I'd be very surprised if there's wild tournaments as like Standard tournament. They're going to balance the game around Standard. I think this is the new Hearthstone, and Wild's just there so people don't get pissed off that they changed the game so much. I don't think many people will. I don't think many people will actually play Wild. I don't think anyone likes queuing into Secret Paladin 10 times. People will just really. The game's just become so stagnant that this change needed to happen. Otherwise, I think a lot of people would have just quit the game, basically. But yeah, I think it's an interesting change. I don't think it's solely positive. I don't think it's solely negative. I think it's interesting. And they've removed some of my favourite cards, like Zombie Chow and stuff, that are really good anti-aggro tech. Like back in the early Hearthstone, aggro was really strong, and I'm scared that Face Hunter's going to be really strong again because of how much anti-aggro tech they've removed. So I really need to see what's getting nerfed and what sort of stuff they're putting in the new expansion. But yeah, just to clarify quickly, because this confused me with the new expansion. If you have a card that gives you another card in Standard, it can only discover a card that exists in the format you're playing.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I had a Museum Creator and I played it as a priest, you can only discover Death Rattle cards that are available in Standard. So you can't discover a Death Lord, for example, which is really big for like Control Priest specifically, because being able to discover like a Death Lord or a Zombie Chow as a Control Priest is like really important if you're playing Wild. So not being able to do that in Standard, I think it's going to see a huge hit to Priest. Like a lot of their power came from GVG and came from being able to discover those big taunt cards like Death Lord and having Death Lord in the deck. But we'll come on to the next topic, which is Oddshot. Now, I know Toby's an avid Twitch.tv viewer, and he's always odd-shotting his favourite moments. But there's a reason we saved up all these topics for when Andy was on the show.
Yeah,
because I know he plays
Andy
Hearthstone,
topics.
he watches it on Twitch and stuff. But basically, Oddshot is a service that lets people, when they're watching Twitch streams, they can type Oddshot into the chat, or there's a Chrome extension, and they can record the last 40 seconds, and what they can do is they can go, oh, there was a really epic play on a Hearthstone stream or a League of Legends stream or something, and they can just upload it to Reddit or, you know, link it into another stream or whatever and just share it with people. And there's been a lot of controversy with Oddshot and other similar services, and I'll go into the other similar services later, but basically people have been getting really annoyed by Oddshot because they take these epic moments that happen fluidly in game and they go, oh, that's a highlight for my stream. I can upload that to YouTube later and I can get all these views, which gives me revenue for my epic play. But wait, I didn't get any views because someone's already uploaded my epic play. They instantly upload it in the past 40 seconds and I don't get anything from it. Like all the views that I was going to get have been stolen by that Oddshot. So, what do you think of Oddshot?
Me, well, to me, like that argument that you just put forward, like, I don't understand that, because like I'm not a streamer, I don't really watch Twitch, and say I was a streamer though, and I had like this highlight that it's like it happened like this one really good move. I got to the other side and they kinged my checkers piece, really good, and someone's then uploaded that to YouTube like themselves before the streams were even finished. Why would I then create a highlight of only 40 seconds and put it onto YouTube to get money? I personally wouldn't see the point in making revenue of 40 seconds. Wouldn't you put it in like a bigger YouTube reel, not just one off?
Yeah, well, having this, but the highlight's already been seen by the people that were going to see your thing, and people are not.
Yeah, I realised that. There's not supposed to be one highlight though.
The problem with Oddshot at the moment is they said in the future they have plans for partners to come and receive revenue from advertisements and stuff when people watch their odd shots. Like they're going to get a piece of the action, but at the moment there's no like real system in place to add like revenue gaining from the viewing, like YouTube or something like that.
Okay.
That's the main problem people have with it. Like I know Oddshot is banned on some subreddits. Like I think it's banned on Hearthstone, or at least one of them is banned on Hearthstone or League of Legends subreddit or something. It is banned. And some people. I personally watch Twitch streams all the time, so I can give you the perspective of a viewer. I really like Oddshot because I don't Oddshot myself, but I always watch Oddshots because people link them in chats, and you can like, oh, look at this, and it's like this epic player, or it's like, oh, look at what this streamer said about this other streamer. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe they said that, and it gets posted, and the streamer looks at it, and he looks at this little video, and he goes, that was pretty cool, or that's an interesting piece of information. Whereas otherwise it'd be like, oh, someone said this. 2 days later, YouTube video, watch it on stream. Oh, I can't believe it, they said that 5 days ago. It's like the whole YouTube system is really slow, whereas Oddshot is instantaneous. It's like instantly have this information, or this like epic moment that's happened, and they instantly have it, and people can share it really easily. And they even the main problem I think is that people, you know, they aren't getting the revenue and stuff. On Oddshot, there is like a little button at the bottom that says which Twitch streamer it is. You can click it. You can go to their stream. You can continue watching the VOD of what you just witnessed as well. So yeah, what do you think of Oddshot, Andy?
As a consumer, is just insanely good. It just gives you a snapshot of the stream. It's just a highlight reel basically, and it's just it's just brilliant to watch. You don't have to skip through VODs and be like, oh, I'll skip to this part of the VOD for some really epic moment.
Yeah, that's one of the main problems with like highlighting a epic play in your Twitch stream is the Twitch VOD system is really bad.
Yeah.
It's beyond bad. So what you have to do is when you make an epic play, you have to export like your Twitch VODs to YouTube, then upload them, which takes a really long time, whereas you know, Oddshot, instantaneous, you can just see it as soon as it happens. It's like, it's almost live. It's like an almost live VOD. You know, the thing about live streams that are really popular is it's happening now. People really like this stuff that's happening in the moment. People don't really want to watch YouTube videos anymore. They don't really like gameplay videos of...
No, you don't watch gameplay on YouTube anymore, really.
Like, I know it's different with like story games or specific personalities on YouTube, but if you're on like a multiplayer game, you want to watch it live. You want to read the chat's reaction and that sort of stuff. You want to share an experience with people.
I've got another Toby analogy for this. Again, it's StarCraft 2 related, of course.
We love StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Say like there's like a tournament for StarCraft 2. You want to watch that on a live stream, obviously. But then, like, if someone just wants to like give a commentary on like a fan game, they just send it in, and then that's kind of what YouTube's for. It's just thing like there is like a as you say, like there's like a big difference between like story and people wanting it live, want it now. They want to be a part of the community and things, and like talk on the chat live.
On a legal standpoint, Oddshot's in a very weird place because other people are using their service to upload content they don't own.
Yeah.
Legally speaking, Oddshot's kind of in this. We're not doing it, someone else is, but everyone's using it to upload copyright of someone else's content. Now, they do have a process on their service which allows you to opt out of Oddshot. So if you opt out of it, your stuff can't be posted on Oddshot, that sort of stuff. But yeah, there is other programs like this which I know some people use themselves. Like there's Plays.tv, where I know a lot of like League of Legends players, they record their games on Plays.tv. And what they can do is it makes like a little highlight on their recording every time they get a kill or they're killed, and they can make a highlight using that. It's really quick and it uploads straight away. I know that I'm a Cute Pie, who's another League streamer, he uses live cap, where he even advertises on his stream. He wants people to become his live cappers. He wants people to make highlights for him. And he's like, if you make highlights for me, you can get noticed and stuff, and you can help promote me. Like, some people see these highlight things as a self-promotion, and it gives you exposure. But at the end of the day, exposure will only get you so far. It's not money. As I know, like Total Biscuit has said in the past, like,
no,
exposure will only get you so far.
That's fine, but like it's not like negative exposure. Like, you're not like saying, oh yeah, this game company's really bad or this stream is really bad. It's literally like, oh, this part of this stream was really good. People look at it and go, oh, I might look at that stream then. Like, that's actually like kind of good publicity. Like, because I know like Total Biscuit like really, I think most people like kind of want to have like the ratings so they can be at the top of the search for either Google or YouTube or something like that. So I don't see how this isn't good. Like, to me it sounds really good. Oddshot. I'm not.
I can see where
in Twitch.
I can definitely see where the streamers are coming from, being like, oh, I was going to upload, because a lot of them do have YouTube channels as well, and they sort of upload highlights of sort of some of their plays and stuff, and there's just no consumer base for that if they've already seen it. But I don't know whether they just need to sort of roll with it and just move more into streaming rather than the YouTube videos. I mean, Trump uploads a lot of his content from his streams, but
Trump's a lot easier to watch with all of his silent thinking edited out.
Oh yeah,
I prefer watching like YouTube videos of him being.
But I really like his sort of arena runs, and sort of he'll build a deck or whatever and sort of upload that to YouTube, and it's nice to watch on that.
He's a lot more suited to YouTube because he even like has the Hearthstone music turned off, and he doesn't stream any music, just so when it edits the two clips together there's no skipping music or whatever. Like, if you choose to put more emphasis on your VODs on YouTube and stuff, you have to make sacrifices, like you can't stream music and that sort of stuff. But hello?
Yeah.
Are we still here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still here.
But
sorry, I didn't want to scare you. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought I might disconnect. We've been having problems.
Just a prank, bro.
Discord, but yeah. If you want to move towards a more VOD sort of stream, Oddshot's probably not for you. But if you're someone who plays like these big multiplayer online games where you can have these epic moments and these little shots, Oddshot's. I'm not sure. It's really hard for me to say anything about this without actually being a streamer myself. Like, I feel like we would have to have someone who streams and has been affected by Oddshot. I know, like, people like Reynad are very outspoken about how much they hate Oddshot, and it's like destroying their YouTube channel when they don't get the views.
Yeah, but a lot of his content is highlights. That's why he's struggling to get views on it. But it's what you upload to YouTube more than anything. So he uploads highlights, Trump uploads full VODs, they're edited down, and sort of you can obviously see why certain streamers are sort of reacting to it negatively and why others aren't so fussed. But I don't know, it's difficult to sort of work out how much content and how much money really that they're losing at the end of the day. So yeah.
I don't think Oddshot is that detrimental to streamers. It's not going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get people watching their streams. People are going to watch the Oddshot and they're going to come to their stream to see their plays and what they've been saying, and they're going to get donations and stuff still.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I kind of feel like it's similar to Hollywood, where they're like, piracy's hurting us, please. We're crying in our millions.
Even though people are like, the cinemas are still like buying their film to license it, so they can actually people can come and watch it in their cinemas. Like,
their biggest problem is Netflix. Like, people don't want to go to the cinema anymore. They just want to watch films in their home.
But Netflix do have to pay them for it though, so it's still not a problem in my eyes.
Yeah.
The cinema's main problem is Netflix.
Hollywood just doesn't want to leave. Just doesn't want to move at the times. They think going to the cinema and watching it physically with other people.
Yeah, I really couldn't be bothered going to the cinema. I hate going to the cinema.
The past 2 times I went to the cinema, I went to see like the new Deadpool movie, which is really good, but it was pretty empty. Like it's kind. I know some people have said it's kind of sad, but I think it's been a long time coming that cinema's kind of dying down.
I mean, I watched James Bond movie about a week after it came out, and there's practically no one in it. I mean, I've still not actually seen Deadpool. I'm like, before the release of the movie, I was like, I can't wait.
Off topic.
You know,
I realize it's completely off topic, but I think what cinemas need to do is like make it into an experience, not just go, oh, it's a film. People go and see films in cinemas. It's already an experience. So no.
Yeah.
You have to go into the cinema, awkwardly like make sure you got the ticket if you've done it online, or you have to go and get the ticket, get the food. Then you have to like awkwardly go through some really awful adverts.
Yeah, speaking of awful cinema adverts, you know where they're always like, it's an experience. You know what really annoys me is when they say come to like a cinema, where they have these cinemas called 4D cinemas, where they're like, you can experience the smell and the water and stuff, and it's like, that's not 4D, the fourth dimension is time!
It's not a water jet in your face, that is not the fourth dimension, that's still 3D.
That's not the fourth dimension.
It's just a bit wet.
Matter itself isn't in any particular dimension in that case. That's just a bit stupid.
Yeah. But we really got off topic there and started having to go to cinema. I don't think Oddshot is gonna hurt streamers that. I think
I wouldn't be surprised if they get a lot of new viewers from sort of highlights being uploaded to Reddit as well. So, you know.
I think in the long run, Oddshot will make a bargain with streamers. They want to keep the peace. They will, live cap, Oddshot. It's not going to go away. There's already other services like this. So you either want to move with them, or if you're either with them or against them. You just need to. Yeah.
I think they have to adapt. I think get used to it, and then not like in a rude way. I understand the problem. But I'm just saying, like, I think for longevity, like, I think they have to just kind of get used to it, because as you say, it's not going away. Just have to like run with it, go with the flow.
Yeah.
And until Twitch fixes its own VOD system, this is especially. But anyway, on to the next topic, which we'll briefly talk about, because I know you guys don't know much about this eSports player union. This is something I want to talk about, because I love eSports. I love a lot of eSports. League of Legends, Hearthstone, CSGO, that sort of good stuff. But recently, or in the past couple of years, I should say, there's been talk of an eSports player union, because there's been a lot of mistreating of players in different games, where you have these stories of some of the best players in a region, like some of the best players in a region not getting paid or living in these tiny little houses, and it still happens to this day when they have videos of them like being these role models, and they're just getting mistreated. And people, even if you look like to the challenger scene, where in League of Legends, where people are they are basically getting a team into the LCS, which is like the main league. They are themselves getting into it, and then the team gets bought out by an investor, and the entire roster gets changed. These people just get kicked off and forgotten. This sort of thing. What do you think about this?
Well, ultimately, I think it's just the management more than anything of most of the teams. It's just very poorly managed, and a lot of the time they're just not very well sort of policed almost. There's contracts aren't.
That's what the union will do, though.
Yeah, I'm saying the unions should be.
That's
a good
the point
thing.
of the union. Like I think every part of life, where it's like a job, where there's money involved, I think you need a union so it is properly policed. So there's no lax. Oh, it's fine. We'll just keep doing this. Yeah. With the union there, they couldn't just go, oh, we'll just change the roster. They can't. That's the point. It'll be policed.
Yeah. So the problem is the people that are supposed to be in charge of these teams are the ones abusing them. The managers, the owners aren't paying these people. They're really mistreating them. And what they need to do is they need to get together a union, not just for League of Legends, but for all games, and CSGO, Hearthstone, even all the Dota,
it needs to be like an industry standard.
All of these.
But it's not uncommon to go on the League of Legends subreddit and see one of these stories about sort of one of the players. Obviously, you're not sure how true they are at the end of the day, but the chances are not all of them are going to be faked. There's no way you can have that many people
There's gonna be some
going,
truth
oh,
to
I've
them,
not been
anyway.
paid for this tournament, oh, I've not been paid by my manager this month or whatever. And it's just out of hand how often that you see that sort of content coming up.
Yeah, the problem is that a lot of these players, some of the players that get mistreated are big players, and they can cause a real stink, and they can go on social media and stuff. But if I'm a challenger player that nobody really knows about, and I go, I'm not getting paid, no one's gonna really care. Like, if I'm not a brand name player, it's not gonna get traction. I don't have a social media following. I can't create enough of a noise that people are gonna have to notice me. You know, companies are gonna have to notice me, like Valve or Riot or Blizzard or whoever polices the game. We really need these big players to be representatives of the union. We need someone who's got a really big name, like big players, to go, you know what, I'm not going to play until this gets resolved. We are, like, you see this all the time, like unions strike to make sure that they create enough stink. If someone with enough standing, like a big player, like, I don't know, Xpeke, Reynad, Pronax, like these really big players just go, we're not going on until you do something about it. They force the company to do something, because the company can't show the stream without them. They can't go, right, we're going to play an LCS this week, and everyone goes, we're not playing. Why not?
It's like removing a cog from like a clock. You need all of the cogs.
Yeah. So I do think it is time for a union to come together, just because of how poorly some of these players are treated, and the borderline illegal contracts that they get signed, and the way they're mistreated, and they just really need to be treated like actual players, because we've got big investors coming into esports now. There's people like Rick Fox, the basketball players, bought a League of Legends team. Like, people understand how big esports is becoming, and like even ESPN has like a esports news section now. Like, the really, really big sports news outlet has to acknowledge how big esports has become. But yeah, I think it's time that players get protected, players come together, and they help each other out, because at some point this is going to happen to them, because when they see they can get away with it, they're not going to change. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, a lot of it's also to do with the fact that esports is quite new as well. So obviously there's not really been scandals and stuff before.
Certain esports, it really depends. So one thing I will say, like, League is a new esport. It's only been about 3-4 years that had the LCS and that sort of stuff. But even back to like 10-15 years ago, we had like StarCraft Brood Wars. Esports is a lot bigger in like Korea and stuff. Like, you had these really big esports leagues in StarCraft and stuff, and they had coaches and stuff, and they had a lot more structure. We just need a lot more structure in our scenes in the West, in Europe, and in America. And we also need the players to come together and help each other. But yeah, that's what I want to say about the esports player union.
I couldn't agree more
quickly before we go on to the final topic. The final topic, I'll let Toby take this away, because he's the guy who's looked into this a lot. The Minecraft 1.9 combat changes. So what's happened with Minecraft is they've actually changed the combat, and that's one of my biggest gripes of Minecraft. So take this away, Tony.
Well, okay. First things first, I would say that the biggest change is that there's now like a timer for like when you can like strike. It's kind of weird. It's like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Like, you have to like, so say you got a sword in your hand, like you left click to hit, and then like then you have to wait for it to go, like, to disappear before you can do it again. But you can technically click at any point. It's just like you get less damage. So now it's like, it's more, in my opinion, it's less click spammy and more like timed. I think it's much nicer.
Yeah, because at the minute you literally just hit the left click as much as you possibly can, don't you?
Yeah. It's awful. There's also like a sweep attack now as well, which is really nice. It's like really good.
The combat system's similar to how awful Skyrim's combat system is.
Yeah, honestly now, like I think Minecraft is legitimately almost better. Like obviously, like minus the magic and stuff like that and blocking. Although,
Yeah.
the next thing they've done is added shields, which oh my god is absolutely fantastic. You have no idea how much I hate skeletons.
I love skeletons. I love them.
They were the worst.
But
now
now
the amount
you
of
can
times you
just
just
block their
couldn't
stuff.
get to them.
Yeah.
You can now block skeletons pushing you back half a mile.
Yeah, the shield when you block will get rid of most of the knockback from the arrows. So you'd be able to like move forward towards the skeleton, then hit it with your sword, which I don't think you can hit and right click. So you'd have to get hit while you attack. So obviously when you get closer to the skeleton, they will shoot faster.
That was one of the most annoying things, was when you were in a cave and
Yeah.
you were trying to get towards the skeleton, but every time you got close, you just got knocked back, and then you got knocked back, and you
The absolute worst, which is pretty much the 7th circle of hell, is you're in water, skeleton isn't, you're trying to swim towards him, and he's just firing arrows at you. That can fuck off. I'm gonna be frank with you. That is the most annoying thing ever.
I thought the 11th circle of hell was Peter Molyneux.
No, this is the 7th. This is just above it.
Just above it.
Wow.
Which brings me on to the 3rd main improvement they've done in this update, which has actually improved the AI once again. I think it was a few.
They've actually changed the AI.
Well, I think like a few updates ago they changed the AI as well, so like creepers and zombies won't go down into holes anymore. But this time they've made, most notably, the skeletons now kind of try and stay in the same range. Zombies kind of, I think, try and like move, like flank and things. A citation needed on the zombies thing, but I just know that like in general they've improved the AI once again, and hopefully improved boats as well.
They've added a new mob as well, haven't they? The shulker.
Yeah, that's another part of the update that they've done. They've completely redone the end, basically, the 3rd dimension after the overworld and the nether. And yeah, there's like end cities now, which you have the shulkers in, which look like blocks, and then they launch stuff in that give you like a levitation effect. They've made it so you can re-fight the end dragon multiple times. Still only 1 egg. They've fixed boats. They've had some really nice animations like oars and things. 2 people can now go inside the boats. It's really quite nice actually. The boats, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, you can now hold items in both hands and quickly swap between them.
Yeah. I probably a main item I should have said. Like, yeah, so sword and shield you can dual wield basically now, which is quite nice. So as long as your main hand doesn't have a right click functionality, whatever's in your offhand you can hold right click and then you will use it basically, so that you can like have like a pick and a torch, for example, or a sword and a shield.
I think one of the main reasons I've been so quick to forgive Minecraft's flaws is because of the huge modding community, and there's been people who fixed these issues.
Yeah,
like
for us.
added new weapons and combat rebalancing themselves.
I think for like the first 3 episodes of this podcast, you've been just playing like Resonant Rise, weren't you? Which is like a whole load of mods.
With the extra combat mods and stuff. But it's nice to see vanilla Minecraft has been changed, and they're actually supporting people who don't have access to mods, maybe the console people who eventually get this update. And yeah, one of the main problems with this is that it's on 1.9, so we're not, as someone who never plays vanilla Minecraft, all the modded Minecraft's still on 1.7.
Yeah,
1.8.
You probably won't see this update for like another year then, because the mods have kind of only just been going over to 1.8. Like, most notably, one of the biggest mods, like Stormcraft, has just gone to 1.8. Some other mods have as well.
They've changed how all the mods are coded with the new expansions and stuff. So it's kind of a pain to move them over at this point.
But that's always been a thing, though. I don't think it's like a major problem. It's just that it's always a key year behind or an update behind.
The major problem with Minecraft is definitely Java. So
yeah, Notch decided to use Java. That's the biggest problem.
when he's not designing weird card games that get forgotten or complaining on Twitter, he's coding in Java, his favourite.
Yeah. What's he like?
Whatever happened to his card game? I don't even remember what it was called.
What, Scrolls?
He was... Yeah, Scrolls. I don't even remember what.
No, I really like it.
I know my friend Irvins, he was getting really hyped for it. I think he played it, but yeah, nothing ever really came as Scrolls.
No, I had
anyone
like
else, they'd really know what it was.
I had the name mentioned a couple of times, and that's it.
I think the problem is it came out like 3 months or 2 months even like before the first playable Hearthstone build.
Oh right.
And then it just got forgotten. Which is really sad because Scrolls looked pretty good. Like had some nice things to it. Like had like area of effect stuff because like there was like 5 rows with 3 columns in on each side, and it was really quite nice. There's a lot I like about it, but I think that Toby Biscuit said at the time was like with Hearthstone he could just buy packs to get back into the game, whereas Scrolls never had that functionality, so he couldn't get back into the game. He had to grind through it again, which is why there was no coverage of that.
Yeah, I see that a lot when new card games come out these days, like these online card games. Everyone's just like, why would I play this when I can just play Hearthstone?
Yeah.
For a while, before Hearthstone came out, we used to play Magic the Gathering. We played the Magic the Gathering online. And those games were, although we really loved Magic, the online versions of those games are really buggy and they had a terrible UI. But we played them because we loved the card games.
It was only like it was only like July of last year that we actually had like a decent. I think it's still pretty bad in some cases, but now has like a decent like customizable deck building part to Magic.
The Magic Origin duels.
Yeah.
That's the one you're talking about.
Yes.
They've added a free-to-play version where they've got you can buy packs on it. They kind of saw the success of Hearthstone. They kind of want to emulate that themselves.
But like Hearthstone was really well timed for us because the whole lot of us were playing Magic at that point, and essentially we were all limited to one or two decks because you had to buy the cards. So I had Dragon deck and my black and white one as well. You had your vampires, and apart from Dan, who'd been playing Magic for quite a while, we were all quite limited in what we could build.
For me, because I kind of started out like it was just like me and you, like just by ourselves. Then we realized other people played it. I originally bought 2 decks so that we could play with each other. That sounds wrong. Regardless. But then after you got your own stuff, I then bought all of the cores for that year. So I had 5 decks from the start. But then obviously I destroyed them and made my own ones, which then decreased that to like 3. So from my point of view, we always had like more than 2.
Yeah, I think I've been a huge Blizzard fan since like Warcraft 3. That was the first game I ever played. Yeah. So when I saw that they were making a card game out of Warcraft, one of my favourite universes of all time, I was instantly sold. Like I've been playing that game.
Like for me, it came out of nowhere, didn't it? Like they just announced it out of nowhere.
Well, there was always the World of Warcraft trading card game. But
oh yeah, that's really good as well.
I actually have some of the WoW trading card game cards actually in my room. Speaking of them, but yeah, nobody really played it. It wasn't like a big as Magic or something.
Yeah, all I know about it is that Toby Biscuit really liked it. That's all I know about it.
It was basically Toby Biscuit and Joe got me into Hearthstone, and since that was literally the first Blizzard game I played was Hearthstone, and I'm now like having done the 1 to 20 recently to get the portrait in Hearthstone. I've now sort of gone through and been like, oh, look at all these mage spells that I recognise the names of, and all of this. It's like really weird doing it backwards almost.
I've been a big Blizzard fan for like more than 10 years of my life. So I've played like Warcraft 3, WoW from vanilla. Played all the expansions. I've played Diablo and Heroes of the Storm and stuff, and all that good stuff. And I've slowly just like corrupted Andy. Like, you should play Hearthstone. You should play Diablo. You should play Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, all of which I've now played, and now I have thoroughly enjoyed them all. There's not one game
Now
out of
you-
those that I've not
Michael-
enjoyed spending time on.
We just need Michael to the gateway drug to work now. He's got Hearthstone. Now he just needs Diablo, World of Warcraft. You know, all those good games.
I've been brainwashed to love Blizzard game, and they've brainwashed me to convert other people to love Blizzard game. So yeah.
The best cult on the internet, Blizzard.
But as we are hugely off topic, we were talking about Minecraft. I don't even know.
Yeah, how did we get to that?
Oh, it was
Is
Notch.
this-
Notch always does this.
It was fucking Notch, and we went on about card games. But is there anything else you want to say about the combat update?
Other than like, I think it was like a lot of people complaining that they can't click spam their sword anymore, and I think that's a load of. That's just not even a problem. I think it makes it much better.
I hated the click
I know.
spam. It was awful.
Why people want that, I have no idea. It's a great update, in my opinion, and I think it's well needed. I think it's great.
That was always my biggest gripe with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Was the combat system. I really hated it.
Yeah, no.
And
Same here.
It seems like this will fix a lot of the problems I had, but I won't be experiencing it for a while because of the way I only played modded Minecraft instead of vanilla Minecraft because they're pretty much like two different games almost.
Well, yeah, I haven't loaded like two separate ones. Like I have one vanilla, and then I just have them like a completely different way to load the modded one. So it is basically two games.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the final topic, which Andy, you haven't done this before, but we will be going on to Toby's wish list.
Okay.
And we do this every week where I pick out a game and I go, Toby, why the fuck is this on your wish list?
Yep.
This sounds
So
quite interesting. Alright.
I'll say like a name of a game and you look it up, Andy, and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to pick Modo Steam Edition.
Modo
Steam
Edition. Alright, let's have a look what on earth this is. Can you give me a link on Steam?
Wait, how'd you get to the store page?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the store page and I can't get to it.
This is the #1 game on your wish list, Toby, but it doesn't have a store page.
Yeah, I'm a bit. You've chosen something that we can't access.
What is Modo Steam Edition?
I couldn't tell you. I cannot remember anymore. It's like
It looks like a modelling tool. It looks like a 3D.
Yeah, it's like an animation
software
modelling thing.
tool.
I think it's something you can use with like face rig and Fuse, be able to like make like fully animated characters.
So why did you put this on your wish list, Toby?
I was just really interested in like making I wanted to see how like easy it was like making animation like characters and things and like exploring into different programs to then get animation things.
What would you want to make a model for? Which game would you want to 3D model for?
Now I want to make my own characters at one point, but what like inspiration? I don't know. I think I was playing The Witcher, I think, at the time, and I was just interested in animation at the same time. And I wonder if I could do this.
Your architecture-ness is coming through. You want to build things.
I'm not gonna lie, looking at it does actually seem quite interesting. But it's not gonna be going on my wish list, I'm afraid. It looks quite Dota 2 heavy.
It's not possible to go on mine.
We're a bit stuck then.
I've got one convertee, Joe. I'm sorry.
But it has no store page. How is this on your wish list?
It used to have a store page. I don't know what's happened.
Right. Andy, are you on? Alright, I'll pick another game. Let me just scroll down.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really awkward section of Toby's wish list, actually. So, sorry for no images for that. In advance.
Well, you can still go. You can go to like the Steam page. It still has one of those. So.
Okay, so what's the second choice of game? Sorry, Jay.
In Momentum.
In Momentum. Well.
In Momentum.
It looks like that tool that we were talking about was mainly used to model Dota workshop items by the look of the screenshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just read this. In Momentum game out quickly. It's a minimalistic sci-fi platform racing game that challenges the player to think in both horizontal and vertical perspectives. It's a racing indie parkour fast-paced platformer. Toby, you have another platformer on your wishlist.
Yeah, it's really I know. Yeah, no, I think this is quite interesting though, because like I realize that
for a guy who says he doesn't like
I have
platformers,
stated
you
in
have
the
a lot of
past
platformers
that I don't
on
like
your
platformers,
wishlist.
and I hate first-person platformers. However,
Well, this is the best one
this kind of is abnormal. It works. It makes sense, and I can't. It just seemed quite nice.
Wait, this game has multiplayer as well?
I wouldn't know. I don't remember it having multiplayer.
To be fair,
It's
it
got
does
free
look
run
quite
and
interesting.
time trials.
It sort of
Yeah.
appears to be
Yeah.
sort of a
No,
free running
the main.
race game, but I'm
I
not
was sold by
sure
this
whether it's got much of a competitive basis. So I don't think it's for Toby. It's super competitive. Toby is.
It's too competitive.
Again, this is one of the Toby's wishlist where I've actually watched videos on this, but like before adding it, I haven't just looked at the Steam page. And the momentum inside the game, like I think, is what sold me the most. Like you just felt like you were going fast. You felt like you had to dodge these things. It
Gotta
just
go
seemed-
fast.
Yeah, it's like a first-person Sonic with puzzles, but really quick fire puzzles in a way. I say puzzles.
So
Obviously, that's just what a platformer is.
let's have a look at the feature quickly. It's got single player and multiplayer. Don't really understand how the multiplayer works. It's got achievements and leaderboards, which I think is quite important for these kind of racing games where you can want to battle against other people online and stuff. But
Yeah,
the
this
aesthetic
is definitely.
for me, it's like this weird like cube world where you run around and
Yeah.
sometimes there's a ball.
A lot of the
what do you do
levels,
with
like,
the ball?
there's no like textures on the Well, I guess there are technically textures, but they're like mostly like mono texture, like mono colors on most of the objects that you jump on and run on. It's interesting aesthetic.
Jesus Christ! See, sorry, I'm watching the trailer, but the sound keeps turning itself back on when I turn it off. Actually, this does look pretty interesting. Like, it looks pretty fluid, the free running. It looks kind of interesting. I'm going to give you a thumbs up for this and say, yes, well done, Toby, for putting this on your wish list, and I'm going to add it to mine.
Well, thank you so much.
Because it looks that good.
That's what you get for choosing a platformer, though. Like, every time you choose a platformer, you
Yeah,
seem
well,
to
you get
add
a
it.
thumbs up for me because I love platforms.
Yeah, I win.
It kind of reminds me of Mirror's Edge in a strange way.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah, I
of
can
that
definitely
style
see
of
why.
game. Andy, would you put this game on your wish list? Would you recommend this?
I think I would prefer to put Mirror's Edge on my wish list than this. So, unfortunately, due to there being from what I can tell, a better
think of it
game
this way, Andy.
of a similar nature.
If
I've
I can
already
try and
played
convert
Mirror's
you one
Edge,
more
so
time,
I'd want to play this.
if I can convert you just one more time, Andy, there's only so much you can play of Mirror's Edge. Then you want to have more Mirror's Edge genres, then you go for this one.
Well, yeah, if I was more into the genre, definitely add it to the wish list. But as it is,
So you haven't played Mirror's Edge.
I'm going to
then?
follow it. I'll follow it, but I won't add it to my wish list, I think.
Wow, harsh.
I would
I
not
think you're one
recommend
of the
following any
toughest
game.
people
but
we've ever had on this show. Out of
Oh,
the-
my wish
the-
list
the
is
two
very
people we've ever
exclusively
had.
DLC. So, games that I already own.
My brother's like, yeah, shove it on. We love all this shit. You're just like, no. This is a very strict list of games. So yeah,
I feel
in momentum.
I feel as though your brother
very
Joe, like
interesting-
he will criticize me more, but add it to it, whereas Andy won't criticize me, just won't add it.
Yeah.
Well, it does look
But-
quite interesting, but I just feel like my money could be better
Not for
spent.
you. Not for you.
It's not for me. No, I'm not a huge platformer fan. So at the end of the day, you have not scored top marks for the genre, I'm afraid.
Okay. We need to move on. So, In Momentum is a sci-fi platformer, third-person parkour game. It is available on Steam for £7 or your regional equivalent. But Andy, if you want to go into Toby's profile on Steam quickly and just go into his wish list, and I'll let you pick a game
Right.
that you are interested by.
I am interested by. Okay, let's see this.
Yeah. you're interested as to what it is and why it's on Toby's wish list.
Right.
Then I'll look
Wow,
into
this
it
is a
another.
huge wish list. Right. Let's scroll down.
Yeah,
How many is
never
there?
ending.
There's 411. Right. Let's go with ooh, it's a big long list. This. Flipping heck.
Anything that interests you that you don't know about.
Okay. Toby, what is No Man's Sky?
You don't know what No Man's Sky is?
No. It's 40 quid. So
We
it's
talked about this last.
I'm afraid.
We talked about this last week.
okay.
Well, 2
Let
weeks
me
ago.
pick
but
again.
yeah.
Let me pick again. Give me another minute.
No Man's Sky is a really big game. I'm surprised you don't know. about
I've literally
that.
not heard of it. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
Yeah. I saw it was 40 quid
You are literally
on,
Hitler.
and I was
You're
like,
the worst
okay, that
guest
must
we've
be
ever had.
that must be a fairly good
Right,
game.
I'm picking a game now. We're going for Slime Rancher.
Sorry, what was that?
I love Slime Rancher.
Slime Rancher.
Yeah.
Well,
This game is already on my wish list because I know
Yeah.
we talked about. We said I was doing my queue and I saw this and I was like, this is bloody amazing. You need to put this on your
yeah.
wish list.
Didn't you
But I
tell
still
me
don't
to
really
add this
understand
to
what
my
the
game?
game's about.
I swear you told me to add this to my wish list, Joe. I think
Yeah, I
this is on
told you
you.
to add you to it. This is on me if you don't like
So
it.
Joe,
Okay.
why is this on your wish list?
Why is this on my wish list? Slime Rancher is the tale of Beatrix LeBeau. I think I'm going to say
It's
Beatrix
French.
LeBeau.
Yep.
Yeah.
A plucky young rancher who sets out for a life of 1,000 light years away from Earth on a far, far range where she tries her hand at making a living, wrangling slime.
They're so happy.
So it looks like it's kind of... Yeah, one of the tags is cute.
Those,
It's early
they're
access.
just so happy. Look at
Cute
them.
exploration first person. The aesthetics
Do you know
and
this
the art style is
Do you know what this reminds me of?
really
You remember
interesting to me.
the Ratchet and Clank gun where you could like, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember which
Yeah.
one it is, but you could like absorb stuff and throw it out like in the first game. I think it's in the very first game this is in. Like it had like a big, like it looked like a big glass vacuum, and then like you'd suck like a mob in, and then you'd fire it back out, or something
Yeah.
like that. And
Well,
that's what it
speak-
reminds me of.
Speaking of my brother, he also wants this game. So it's a popular game that we have no idea what you actually do on it. So from the pictures, it's this kind of 3D farming game, but it's not like farming at all.
No.
It kind of the aesthetics kind of remind me of like I'm gonna say Subnautica. Actually, I think this looks like
The
actual
a little
aesthetics
bit,
is
but
like
blobs.
the futuristic.
Just with a layer of cute
This-
added onto it.
Yeah, it's kind of like this futuristic guns where you kind of farm these slimes and you put them into pens. I think honestly, if you're listening to this, look up Slime Rancher and look at some of the pictures of this.
I mean, it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews, so people seem to really like this.
It's early access, so we don't know what kind of state it's in. Partial controller support. My favourite tank. I would definitely always put. It looks like I'd play this with a mouse and keyboard anyway. It's not a platformer, so it doesn't lose points there. But it just looks really interesting. I don't know.
It's just so
what
happy.
Made me... Yeah, it just looks like one of those games you can kind of relax. And this is I'm going to say this is a podcast game. You kind of load up a podcast and you play this and you kind of explore and
definitely.
ranch some slimes. However you do that.
Yeah.
I've not looked up a single gameplay video of this.
No,
so I have no
I'm in the
idea
dark
how
on
to
this
play
one.
So it looks amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andy?
Well, I'm just watching the video now, and it's definitely exciting, and going around with the slimes, exploring by the looks of it, and discovering various types of slimes, and
Yeah.
some of them do look a bit angry, but still somehow cute.
Andy, is this going on your wish list?
It's going on it. I think it's going to go on it.
We can't sell you on first-person platformers with like futuristic. But if you're ranching slime, we can sell you.
Yeah.
Cute slimes being ranched, we can sell you.
I think I think everyone just adds it to their wish list. I think it's just that good of a concept.
It's just something I've not sort of come across. I didn't know I wanted to ranch slimes
so
before.
Weird.
Yeah, I didn't know I wanted to until I saw it and made Toby put it on his wish list. One of the reviews is just, why is collecting slime such a ridiculously fun experience?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh. Right, so we'll do one last game and I will let Andy actually pick it this time.
Oh, you're gonna let me pick? Okay, this is quite the pressure situation I'm in here.
Pro tip: find the anime girls. Those are some great games.
Okay.
What are those ones?
They're
We're
closer to the
going
bottom,
with
Andy.
Human Resource Machine.
Okay, I'll just look this up quickly.
So-
Human Resource Machine. I'm clicking on it.
Okay.
What is this? Welcome, new
hang on.
employee to Human Resource Machine.
Quickly before we go on to Human Resource Machine, Slime Rancher is available for £15 on Steam. Okay. And if you want to read the description.
Right, so program little office workers to solve puzzles. Be a good employee. The machines are coming for your job. From the creative world of
You know
Goo
what this
and Little
reminds me of?
Inferno.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the pictures really remind me of Little Inferno.
It's
Yeah.
funny you say that, Jack. Because it's from the
It has
creators
that
of
kind
Little Inferno.
aesthetic art style. Have you ever played Little Inferno or World of Goo?
Yeah. It's quite fun. This does seem quite a good puzzle game actually. Like, I'm not hugely into puzzle games, but
Okay,
from what
I'll
I've
explain
seen,
to so
it's-
before we go off. I'll explain to you why it's on my wish list. Like it looks like a really interesting puzzle game. It seems to have like semi-programmable things in as the main way to solve puzzles. And as per usual, it's probably going to have like a really dark or really weird, interesting backstory behind it, as per Little Inferno, which immediately made me want to get it. Is because Little Inferno, I don't think it's like a game I would ever buy. I have played it, I don't own it, but this does look really good to me.
Yeah, I have Little Inferno, and it's kind of just you burn things. I didn't really see the.
Well,
point
to
of
me
the
it was a
game
story.
overall. I think World of Goo.
I have lots of memories of the story for Little Inferno.
I think World of Goo was a more complete game, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, this does look quite interesting. So for this one, Toby, this indie programming casual puzzle simulator that looks like which looks quite interesting. I'm going to give you a yes. That's the only one.
Already a yes. Already a yes. from Jack.
I have to agree as well. It does look incredibly interesting. It's weird. You seem to just be programming humans. So
Yeah.
are they actually the robots or something?
I can
Okay.
guarantee you there'll be some sort of backstory or some sort of like twist about why they've been programmed or something. It will be. I guarantee it'll be like some sort of interesting story plot like that.
Oh, one thing I will say quickly. I was watching one of my friends on Steam play Super Hot, and even that game's got like a bit of story to it and stuff. Even though it could easily just be go around killing these red blobs. There is a bit of story to that game if you're interested in that. That's one of the new releases that comes out. So I am also interested in that game. But yeah, so that's Toby's wish list. So that's the end of the show, and this is where we usually do plugs. So I've been Scorn. You can find me at Twitter at Scorn2000. As always, you can see the podcasts on the YouTube channel and everything in between podcasts. You will see this in about a couple of months when Toby gets back.
Yeah, next year the apocalypse will have come.
We're still looking for a solution to the audio-only versions because we're out of SoundCloud space still. So if you're really dying for it, just drop me a tweet or something, and I will personally send you an audio
PM.
version.
Send him a PM at petermolyneux@gmail.com.
Yeah. And did you have any plugs? You want to plug your very famous
No,
Twitter?
I only have my Twitch stream, Twitch/Gorlax16. If you'd
Everyone
like
had
to
Gorlax
report
16.
me, yep, you can report me there. Also, please ban my Battle.net account. I've been a very naughty boy. Called Nizon. The battle tag number is 2164.
Are you literally reading Martin's battle tag off on the podcast?
Yes.
We're gonna get a flag for copyright here now, Andy.
Okay, Toby.
Maybe. He'll love it.
Usually Toby just says nothing, and I just go, if you want to contact Toby, just contact me. That's the easiest way.
Yeah. And that's the usual.
But
I'm anonymous.
This week we decided we'd end the show with a Danny Dyer quote. So I've got one here. It says, "We all need that bit of hate in the world. It means we appreciate being loved more." So that's a nice little quote from Danny Dyer.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Danny, for that nice little quote, brightening up our day, and we'll see you next week. Well played.